see more. Teams login issue. The user called in is having issues connecting to Teams using her MacBook. User states when they log into Teams, it gives them an error. Too many attempts have been made and the account is locked. User is able to log into office.portal.com. When the user log in and selects Teams, they get attached message. So there is a screenshot, which is wonderful. I love to see screenshots. And as Tracy stated, user logged into the web version of Office 365, excuse me, and he or she simply selected on Teams to pull up, and they immediately got this error where it just says we couldn't sign you in. So aside from making sure that the correct version of Teams and that it's updated and installed, I really think that in this case, person is simply disabled or not allowed to use Teams. Otherwise, there is a connection. As stated previously, they try too many times and they fail, and this is why they get locked out. So it's not a connection issue. This is just not allowed to use Teams issue. So here we are in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. One of the first things you can do is click on active users and just pick the person that has having this issue. Open them up like this, select licenses and apps, scroll down, expand apps, and just make sure that Teams is enabled. Teams, well, here it is. In this case, Microsoft Teams is checked and allowed to use. So just make sure that this is enabled first, just to double check. And now we're going to go to the Teams application itself. So I got Teams, and this is admin panel for Teams, and I'm just going to expand this here so that it's easier to use. And I'm going to select users here. I'm going to select manage users, and I'm going to pick random person here. So matter of fact, let's pick the same person here. It's Alice Cooper. In this case, we were talking about Alice Cooper, so I'm going to look for Alice Cooper in here. Of course, we can search for her, so I'm just going to type in Alice Cooper. I'm going to select her and then see if she's allowed to use Teams. So here she is. This is her profile. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to select Teams here, and I'm going to see, yep, she's active. She's in an active status, and she's part of deployment team. So that deployment team is the department here, but you can see that she's set to active. And if not, well, we can re-add her. So let's go ahead and remove her, and then we can re-add her to the teams. And the way we would add her back is we would have to go back to the team that she was in, or the team she's supposed to, that she belongs to. In this case, if you remember, she was part of deployment team. And you've guessed it, we're going to go to the teams part of it. So within Microsoft Teams Admin Center, it's the second option down, which says team. We're going to select manage teams. And unfortunately, there is no option to add it to manage user where we were just at, but that's okay. We have to do it through here. So manage teams, there's the deployment team. Let's see if she is in here. We're going to type in Alice, and she is not part of this team, right? So what we can do is just simply click add. We're going to look for Alice Cooper. We're going to apply. We're going to make sure she's added in there, and then we're going to go back and manage users where we were previously. We're going to look for Alice, and we're going to select Alice, and then we're going to select teams here, and it's going to take a minute just to refresh to add her. So I'd say to the user, it'll take about 15 minutes, and then try again, and then she's going to show up as part of Teams and active once more. So I'm going to refresh this here. I'm just going to do F5 here. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I would say tell them 15 minutes or so. All right, let's do one more refresh. It should come up here in a moment here. Okay, and then there she is. She's added back to the deployment team. She's a member, which is perfectly fine, and it says here that it's active. So make sure that this is all set up correctly, and if you don't have access, then you can reach out to whoever manages Teams to have them added inside of Teams so they can use Teams. All right, so I'm gonna leave a note here. I'm gonna reply to customer. I'm gonna say this most likely is an access issue to Teams application. I would go inside the Teams admin center and make sure user is active. Also, just to double check, you can make sure that Teams application is updated to the current version, which, you know, most likely it is, but I would concentrate on the access issue here. And of course, you know, make sure that this is followed up and resolved, but I'm gonna close the ticket because, you know, we're moving on here.